Welcome to Wildlife in Focus. During late spring and early summer, you occasionally come across eggshells and may wonder what species of bird they are from and why they are there. Many birds will remove eggshells from their nests once the nestlings are hatched to avoid attracting predators to the nest site. In this video, we cover some of the most common birds and nests to help you identify eggshells if you find them in your garden or when out in the countryside. Please remember though, not to disturb any birds while they are nesting. It's not only unkind, but in many countries, it's also illegal to disturb them or take their eggs. Bird eggs are made up of approximately 95% calcium carbonate, with the rest consisting of other organic elements. Notably, the overall look of an egg depends on the bird's environment. Birds that nest on the ground, in trees and shrubs, need to camouflage their eggs to blend in with the foliage and hide them from predators. Many of these birds are also targeted by brood parasites such as the common cuckoo. If this is the case, they typically add variable patterning onto their eggs so that they can differentiate them from any parasite eggs. On the other hand, birds that nest in cavities neither need to camouflage their eggs nor add patterning to protect from predators, so their eggs tend to be plain in colour. Now let's take a look at some of the common birds and their associated nests. The European robin, Erithacus rubecula, is one of the most iconic birds in the UK and a beloved public favourite. Although they are often associated with wintertime, particularly because of their appearance on Christmas cards, they are residents year-round. European robin eggs are generally characterised by their creamy white or pale blue coloration, often adorned with speckles that range from light brown to reddish brown. The intensity and distribution of these speckles can vary, with some eggs displaying a higher concentration of speckles at the larger end. The blackbird is one of the most common and recognisable birds. It is especially abundant in gardens, but can also be found in various habitats, avoiding only the highest altitudes. This species often forages on the ground, where it can be seen turning over leaf litter, probing the soil for food, or visiting flat feeders such as bird tables. Eurasian blackbird eggs are usually pale blue or blue-green and feature reddish-brown speckles. These speckles can give the eggs an overall brownish appearance. Chaffinches, Fringilla coalebs, can be found in the UK throughout the year. The male chaffinch has an attractive plumage featuring pink, chestnut, and blue-grey colours, along with bright white wing bars. The female, while less colourful, is equally appealing. These birds are frequently observed at garden bird feeders. Chaffinch eggs are usually pale blue or greenish blue, featuring reddish-brown spots, blotches, or streaks. They have a smooth, slightly glossy surface and range in colour from pale blue to light red. The Eurasian blue tit, Cyanist's caruleus, is one of the most entertaining birds to observe, as they are highly acrobatic and agile while searching for food. As one of the smaller members of the tit family, the blue tit boasts beautiful colouring, including a yellow breast, white face, and bright blue cap on its head, along with blue and green wings. Blue tit eggs are usually pale cream or white, with reddish-brown speckles. They are relatively small compared to most of the other birds in our lineup. The great tit, Parus major, is a common visitor in gardens, making it one of the most familiar resident birds. It is easily recognisable due to its size, as it is the largest member of the tit family, approximately the same size as the European robin. These colourful birds have green and yellow plumage, a black cap on their heads, and a distinctive black line running down their chests. They also feature white cheek patches. Males are generally a brighter yellow than females. Great tit eggs are usually white with reddish-brown speckles. They are smooth and glossy, laid in a cup-shaped nest lined with materials such as moss, grass, hair, and feathers. The Dunnock, Prunella modularis, commonly referred to as the hedge sparrow, is a small bird with streaks of brown and grey, roughly the size of a robin. It features a grey breast and head, along with a thin, pointed bill. Known for its shy nature, this ground-feeding bird is often found in gardens and hedgerows. Dunnock eggs are a vivid blue colour, sometimes featuring reddish or brown speckles, but they are usually unmarked. The eggs are small, measuring approximately 19 millimeters in length, and are laid in clutches of 3 to 5 eggs. The Eurasian Siskin, Spinus spinus, is a charming little finch. It features a cute forked tail and a narrow bill. Males are particularly bright, showcasing sunny yellow breasts and cheeks, topped off with a stylish black cap. In contrast, females have a softer appearance with pale feathers, earthy dark streaks, and hints of dull yellow. Both males and females have wings beautifully striped in yellow and black, making them a delight to observe. Siskin eggs are usually pale blue or white, with reddish brown or lilac speckles. They are relatively small, measuring about 16 millimeters in length. Goldfinches, Carduelis carduelis, are among the most striking members of the finch family. Males and females have similar appearances, featuring red face patches and bibs bordered by a white collar. However, the red face patch on females is slightly smaller than that of males. Their wings are primarily black, with white spots and a very prominent yellow wing patch. Goldfinch eggs are usually pale blue or whitish, with reddish-brown speckles. They are small, smooth, and slightly glossy, measuring about 17 millimeters in length. The Eurasian wren, troglodytes, is a small bird with a predominantly chestnut-brown coloration and a rounded appearance. It has a slender bill and rounded wings. You often see these birds standing in a posture similar to that of a robin, with their narrow tails raised vertically. Wrens are very active and constantly dart from one place to another in search of food. Eurasian wren eggs are usually white or a very pale pinkish white with reddish-brown speckles, especially on the broader end. These small eggs measure about 16 millimeters in length. The common pheasant, Phasianus colchicus, is a large long-tailed game bird that is easily identifiable by its striking plumage, especially in males. Males have an iridescent copper-coloured body, a dark green head with a red face and wattle, and a distinctive white neck ring. In contrast, females, or hens, have a more camouflaged buff-brown coloration with darker markings. Common pheasant eggs are usually pale olive-brown or brownish, sometimes with a bluish tint, and are similar in size to small hen's eggs. They have a smooth and non-glossy surface. The European starling, Sturnus vulgaris, is a striking bird with a dark appearance that reveals vibrant colours up close. During the breeding season, its plumage displays iridescent shades of green, blue, and purple, while in winter it is marked with small silver spots. Common starling eggs are generally pale blue or pale greenish blue, and they are usually unmarked. Their surface is smooth and fairly glossy, measuring approximately 30 millimeters in length. The carrion crow, Corvus coron, is a large bird with a heavy build, characterized by its predominantly black feathers and a large, blunt black beak. These features set the carrion crow apart from the similarly sized rook and hooded crow. Carrion crow eggs are usually pale bluish-green to olive-green, featuring dark brown and grey markings concentrated towards the larger end. They have a smooth and glossy texture and measure approximately 43 millimeters in length. Male house sparrows have black and chestnut-brown plumage on their backs, while their underparts are a pale grey. They feature chestnut-brown heads with a black bib, grey cheek patches and a grey crown. Female house sparrows, on the other hand, do not have the same extensive chestnut-brown coloration on their backs as the males, and instead display more muted shades of brown and black on their upper parts. House sparrow eggs are usually white or greyish-white, featuring brown or grey speckles. These small oval-shaped eggs measure approximately 22 millimeters in length. The speckles tend to be more concentrated at the broader end of the egg. Magpies, Pica pica, are easily recognizable birds characterized by their striking iridescent black and white plumage and long tails. Known for their inquisitive nature, they also hold a significant presence in European folklore and superstitions. Magpie eggs are usually pale blue or green, with darker olive brown or grey speckles and blotches. They are relatively small, averaging about 34 millimeters in length. The collared dove, Streptopelia decaocto, is a pale, pinkish-brown bird distinguished by a black half-collar around the back of its neck. It features a long tail and a grey-blue patch on its wings. The collared dove has dark red eyes and pinkish-red legs. Collared dove eggs are usually white to creamy white, with no markings or speckles. They have an oval shape and a smooth texture, averaging about 31 millimeters in length. Eurasian jays, Garrulus glandarius, are members of the corvid family, recognized for their vibrant colors. Their plumage has a pinkish hue with blue and black barring on their wings. They are especially noticeable while flying, as the striking barring, along with the flash of white feathers on their rumps, stands out. Eurasian Jay eggs are usually a pale blue-green or olive color, often displaying buff or brown speckles. They measure approximately 31 millimeters in length. Both male and female bullfinches, Pyrrhula, have a black cap that extends around their head and bill. They feature black wings and tails, as well as a grey and white back. Males are especially recognizable during the breeding season due to their striking rose-red chests. Bullfinch eggs are usually pale blue to white, adorned with purplish-brown or reddish-brown spots. They have a smooth and glossy texture and measure approximately 19 millimeters in length. The song thrush, Turdus philomelos, is a talented singer commonly heard during dawn and dusk. Initially a woodland bird, it has adapted to living in parks and gardens for feeding and nesting. One of its notable behaviors is breaking snail shells against rocks, which often results in piles of broken shells that indicate its presence. Song thrush eggs are usually a glossy bright blue, often featuring small black or reddish-brown speckles. They measure approximately 27 millimeters in length. Although the great spotted woodpecker, Dendrocopos major, is known for its distinctive black and white pattern accented with bright red flashes, you will likely hear it before you see it. These birds are very vocal. However, they tend to be quite shy in woodland environments. Great spotted woodpecker eggs are typically glossy white and smooth, measuring approximately 26 millimeters in length. They are laid in a tree cavity, which is usually excavated by the parents and lined with wood chips. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.